Let's go, Cole! Let's go, JP! You gotta go!
Cole Gibbons in there, he's running phenomenally over half hour. He's just doing it all this year, isn't he?
Let's go, Cole! Let's go, Tommy! Come on, Tommy!
So I've arrived at possibly the fastest and most stacked 5k field, 5k race in the UK, possibly in the world this year. I'm not really sure about overseas, but yeah, this is the Podium Festival 5k. I'm in the Elite B race at 5:30. Can I smash my PB? Who knows? But let's have a good go at it and have a great time. Sorry, Mum, for swearing. Let's go. So I've come to a bit of a quieter area on the course just because it's just way too loud. It's absolutely crazy atmosphere kind of around the main start area. It's kind of giving me sort of kind of flashbacks to Night at 10Ks. It's that sort of kind of vibe here, which is, it's just insane. More track events need to be like this, or more races need to be like this, really. So today's race is a 5k, and obviously I am building up towards the marathon. So this is definitely not an A-goal race. I did a small session this morning. I've done a big volume week so far. So this is just see what the legs have got while they're tired. If I run something good, fantastic. If I don't, it doesn't matter. It's just about a little bit of sharpening and just enjoying my running. I love to race. I absolutely love to race. So being as I do a lot of my training solo, it's so nice to kind of get to races and just kind of use them as training, really. So the course is 5 laps, so 5 kilometer laps, which could be fantastic if you're feeling good, but it could also be dreadful if you're feeling pretty crappy. But I've got a couple hours till my race. So yeah, I'm just going to try and chill out. I'm going to go and try and find a portaloo somewhere. And yeah, I'll bring you with me. Let's go. Got the bike on, it's a bit loud. I've got a cup with water rather than using a tub. I think drinking's easier than eating.
To the last 2 minutes of the race.
Got to make sure I get all of them. Look at that.
We're going to move on to the right hand
Bombs
side.
up.
After our final athletes who come through, they will hear the bell. Bedford and County athletes.
It's actually not too bad. Just stood waiting for the men's C race to go off before I start kind of warming up. But if we're going to talk goal setting for this race, my PB sits at 14:38. Now, after a relatively big week and a small session this morning, the idea for this wasn't to be in kind of peak shape and taper up, etc., because I tapered for my half marathon last week at Paddock Wood, where I ran 65.00, and obviously London Marathon is the goal, so I can't keep tapering and then building back up, tapering, building back up, because a couple of years ago I went to the National Cross Country and I warmed up with Emil Crest, which was a bit of a surreal moment. But one takeaway point that he said to me is that people taper for too many races. One mistake I have made over the years is that I then took that too literally and then didn't taper for any race. So Ellis has kind of got me back on track and tapering for races that matter, but this isn't really a race in my mind that matters too much, so I'm not tapered. But sometimes when your legs feel like they're not fully tapered, you can sometimes surprise yourself, so I'm hoping I'll go with the element of surprise for today's race. So my A goal would be sub 14:15. That could be quite ambitious. I just feel like I'm in quite good shape at the moment. Obviously, well, my race times have kind of shown that, really. And then B goal would be sub 14:30, and then C goal, being from the coast, gotta love a seagull, or hate a seagull more like, it's got to be a new PB, so sub 14:38. I think anything other than a PB would be a bit of a disaster, because I feel like based on my 10k time of 29:45 that I set a few weeks ago and my half marathon time, just running say like a 15-minute 5k, as much as that is a fantastically respectable time, it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's not a reflection of how fit I am at the moment. But as I said, I've been kind of, I'm already on for, well, with my long run tomorrow, I'm well on for a kind of 110-mile week, so yeah, hopefully it'll be good. Conditions are starting to be really perfect. The wind's dying down a bit, and everyone's saying it's a really quick course. So yeah, absolutely buzzing. But yeah, gonna support some friends, do my race, cool down, and then basically I'm just gonna chill, watch the men's and women's elite races, the mile race, and just have a bit of fun. So yeah, really looking forward to this, but I'm feeling a little bit nervous. The final decision to make is Pro 4s or Pro 3s. I think I'm going to go for the 3s. I think they're just that little bit snappier on a 5k, a little bit more responsive, whereas the Pro 4s are much better for the marathon. Yeah, I think that's the decision I'm going to go with. Let's get it. So just finishing up my warm-up, about 20 minutes to go. Yeah, time to lock in, put the camera away, see what the legs have got. How quick can I run on marathon legs?
It's going to be a very, very exciting race, this one.
For me, it's loaded with the future talent. You know, there's a lot of, we keep mentioning, you know, there's guys, a lot of guys in here in that under 20 age group. Go boys! So away we go then in this men's B race 5k, penultimate men's race of the evening.
Let's go, Cole!
See the rest of Quimby Ingram just going past the picture to the left of the picture on that split screen. Colt Gibbons in there, he's running phenomenally over half marathon. He's just doing it all this year, isn't he? Half marathon, cross country, he's eating up, and I believe he even did a bit of a session this morning. A man like many others who have just fully adopted that double threshold regime.
Come on, Cole! Let's go, Cole! Let's go, JP! You gotta go!
Frank McGrath down Brooklyn. Both of those two leading what has formed a secondary pack. Rab Johns and Co in second and third, and the rest of them, the whole field if you like, are just filling those remaining spots.
Let's go, Cole! Let's go, Tommy! Come on, Tommy!
A 60th position at the Bucks Cross Country Championships and a 14:39 lifetime best. He's obliterated it here, and he takes this men's B race 14:09. And they all flock across the line. How many men we're going to get breaking 15? Can we get the whole field? PBs galore.
Absolutely fantastic. What a race that was. It wasn't how we thought that was going to play out at all.
So that is race done. Another PB, the streak continues. Let's go. 14:22 to be confirmed. I'm not 100% sure on the time just yet, but I'll put it on the screen for you guys now that it's been confirmed. Or once it's been confirmed. If you'd offered me that this morning, I would have snapped your hand off, but in kind of, what's the word? Retrospect, is that the right phrase? I'm not 100% happy with it, purely because my legs felt like absolute lead from the gun. I just felt like even the start was just, first lap, first K, just couldn't get into my stride, it felt really hard. But I managed to hold it together for the first 2K. On the third lap there was a big kind of collision, which I just managed to kind of slow down and go round. So I probably lost maybe a second, maybe 2 seconds, maybe, I don't know. Whether that helped my race, I don't know, maybe a bit of an adrenaline rush. But yeah, things like that, which obviously don't help. But everyone else was slowing down in the 4th and 5th K, and I was just managing to hold it together. So I managed to pass quite a few people. So I don't know where I finished in the end. But yeah, obviously got to be happy with that on marathon legs and marathon training. There obviously seems to be this kind of misconception that you can't run quick on marathon training, where for me I find it's the opposite. I feel like I run quicker on marathon training. Don't know if that's just from getting fitter generally, and if I was to then do another sharpening block, more of a track season, would I get fitter still over a 5K? Obviously I'm going to put that to the test this summer, but yeah, all in all, pretty happy with that. But yeah, I still feel like there's more in the tank. I feel like if I tapered for the race, and everything went to plan, I feel like there's a 14.0 something in the tank. So yeah, maybe a sub 14 by the end of the year, who knows, that'd be a huge milestone. But anyway, I'm gonna go enjoy my prawn sandwich, because you know, what else do you eat when you're treating yourself after a PB? And yeah, just have a good time. Let's go. So that is the Podium Festival 5K complete. I'm just heading back to the car. I'm gonna be honest, I was gonna stay around and watch the mile race, but it's just too cold. I'm just absolutely bitter. And I've got a little bit of a drive ahead of me. I'm gonna decide whether I want to drive back to my uncle's house or whether I want to drive back home all the way down to Kent. And the reason why that's a bit of a tricky decision is because I'm actually doing the Surrey half marathon tomorrow, which is on the way home. But then obviously if I drove home, I'd have to go back out from Kent to Surrey. So and you might be thinking, Cole, why are you doing a half marathon a day after a 5K? And it's because I'm going to do it at a marathon pace as part of my long run, essentially. And to be honest, I feel absolutely fine after that 5K. Normally I feel a little bit tired and stuff, but I feel like I've really struggled in the shorter events to kind of empty the tank fully. I was saying to some friends just then that I feel like everyone else gets to the end of a 5K and they look like they're dead. They're throwing up, they're passing out, or they're just laying on the floor. And I almost look like I just need a 3-minute recovery and I'm ready for rep 2 type thing. Which is frustrating because I want to be able to empty the tank. So anyway, gonna head to the car. I've had my sandwich, but I'm still a little bit peckish. I might get another bite to eat, and then we'll hit the road. Let's go. So we're back from the Podium Festival 5K. It was a few days ago now, and then Sunday morning I woke up and did my long run, and experienced my first kind of taste of marathon kind of stomach troubles. I've always been kind of pretty okay when it comes to handling gels and handling food and stuff on runs. But yeah, so let's just say I now know where all the public toilets are along the coast of Herne Bay to Whitstable. But in all fairness, I think it was just from kind of having like bicarb and loads of caffeine, etc. The night before the 5K. But yeah, kind of moving back to the 5K, it was just an absolutely fantastic event. And obviously the streak continues, another PB, so obviously absolutely chuffed with that. And long may it continue, because I actually think it will probably end up being my last race, or last official like measured distance race before London Marathon. My plan was originally to do Pulford 10K this weekend, but to be honest, I'm knackered from travelling. I don't really fancy the journey back up to kind of the Cheshire area this weekend, because then the following weekend I'm back to Milton Keynes with Tunbridge for the Southern Road Relays, and then 2 weeks later after that I'll then be all the way back up in Birmingham for hopefully the National Road Relays. So it just feels like a lot of travelling, and I already commute to and from Orpington and Kings Hill for work from Herne Bay. So just, to be honest, I just don't really fancy the journey, and maybe that's a weak mindset going into a race. But I have to do it solo, on my own. I have to leave straight from work, and I then have to come back straight to work when I get back. And to to be honest, I'm just not really feeling it. The race looks like an insane stacked field at Polford, so I'm slightly upset to be missing it. Obviously I know it's in my control, and that's the only reason I'm kind of ahhing about do I go, do I not. But actually I've raced quite a lot recently, kind of, you know, put it in a box, be happy with it, and kind of just make sure that I get to the marathon start line in one piece. Maybe that's more important. And the race itself obviously is on a Sunday, so just prioritising that Sunday long run I think is more important, especially into the marathon. There's plenty of opportunities for fast 10Ks and fast 5Ks. So yeah, my final 2 races before the London will be the Southern Road Relays with Tunbridge and the National Road Relays with Tunbridge. So no like official measured races. So hopefully I'll get that real build up of like a buzz before London Marathon come the 27th of April. But a quick reflection about the 5K, my legs felt like absolute lead in the first couple of kilometres. I think it actually played into my hands a little bit because everyone else seemed to kind of come back to me. Maybe they got a little bit too excited and went off too quickly, and I managed to finish quite strong, which I'm really happy with. And I definitely didn't feel like I was absolutely buggered by the end of it, which yeah, I think is more of a sign of the marathon training. I don't necessarily agree that you can't run a fast 5K whilst in marathon training, but maybe you just don't quite have the ability to empty the tank as much and just really fully send it, if that makes sense. I got to the end and felt like maybe if I'd had like a 3-minute recovery, I could have at least done some more reps afterwards, which obviously there wasn't really the room to do that at the race. But yeah, and obviously I'm really chuffed with the race. I definitely think there's more in the tank at all the distances at the moment. I keep thinking like, oh, maybe if I'd just done that, or maybe if the conditions were slightly better, or yada yada. But no, all in all, very, very chuffed with my results of recent, as I should be. And yeah, just finally, my next video I plan on making is going to be kind of all about nutrition and supplements. A lot of people have been asking me about what I take around my running. So that's things like supplements, vitamins, bicarb, ketones, protein, carbohydrates, how I'm fueling during races, and then my top secret for nutrition, which I'll obviously divulge in the next video. But do drop down below any questions if you specifically have related to supplements, nutrition, fueling your running, etc., because that has been it's definitely in the top 3 changes that I've made since I've kind of had this like new wave of improvement. And I think if it's something that, well, I've managed to change pretty comfortably and relatively cheaply, so I think it's something that you guys could do as well, and I'd like to share that with you. So anyway, drop those questions down below. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, thanks for everyone that sent in the footage for the race. Really appreciate it. Take care. Peace.